Hello and welcome to Cooking with Miss Michelle. Today I'm going to show you how to make Mandarin orange salad. So this is a really fun, easy, and delicious recipe to make with a nice story behind it. So when I was in 6th grade, we had to do a project called the Show What You Know project, where you teach the class about something you like. It could be anything. And one person in my class showed everyone how to make this Mandarin orange salad and then let everyone try it. And it was so delicious that me and my mom have been making it ever since. So probably for like 25 years or so. It's a really good salad for summer. It's also good for winter, but it's a light, refreshing salad that you can bring to barbecues and stuff. So for this project, you're gonna need a cabbage. And I have a small cabbage. Once I start to slice this up, a little bit goes a long way. If you're making it for a lot of people, you might need a bigger cabbage, but I don't need that much. Some green onions, like 3 pretty good sized green onions, 2 or 3. Some Mandarin oranges. I have a very large can here, otherwise if you have a small can you'll probably need a couple. Some top ramen. And for the dressing, and some sliced or slivered almonds. And then for the dressing, I'm gonna need some olive oil, apple cider vinegar, salt and pepper, and sugar. And then, this wasn't in the original recipe, but sometimes I like to add some pepitas, little pumpkin seeds too. So if you don't eat gluten, that could give you some extra crunch. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I've already washed my stuff, so I'm gonna slice my cabbage and take out the core. So I like to cut one part of it off and then make a little triangle around the core. This core is pretty big for this small cabbage. I'm just gonna carefully make a little triangle cut and then take the core out, and then I have a little bit more. So I might just take that out as I slice it, but then I can put my flat side down so it won't roll around on me. And I'm gonna keep my fingers far away from the knife and just slice it into really thin slices. So this recipe, it's kind of similar to coleslaw, but it doesn't have all the mayonnaise in it, so it's a little bit lighter and more, I don't know, it's different. Coleslaw I feel like is pretty common, so this is like a nice little variation. Okay, so you can see I got quite a bit out of my one small head of cabbage, and if I kind of toss this up, it'll start to break into its little smaller leaf pieces. When you slice it, they kind of stick together, but once I start tossing it, they'll kind of separate a little bit. While I get my next ingredients ready, I'm gonna toast my almonds. So I'm gonna use 1 cup of sliced almonds. And I like to do it in the toaster oven. So I'm just gonna spread these out on a small pan. And nuts are very easy to burn, so I like to cook them at a low temperature. So I'm gonna cook them at about 250 for 8 to 10 minutes. I can always cook them longer, but once they burn, they're burned and there's no going back. So I like to start out slow, and then if I need to add some time, I can. Actually, I'm probably gonna cook them for about 7 minutes and then see how it goes. So start slow and you can always cook them longer. I'm gonna open my oranges. And then I like to open it part of the way, and then I can just use the lid to drain the juice out. And then I can add those to my salad. Then I'm gonna slice up my green onions. So these actually came off the top of some small onions, but I usually like to use the white and green parts. These just have the green parts, so I'm just gonna slice them up into little, really thin slices. And I'm gonna make sure I keep my fingers far away from the blade. And then for my dressing, I'm going to need a half cup of olive oil, and then a third of a cup of apple cider vinegar. And I like to just mix it in the measuring cup because then you have less dishes, but if you want to do it in a bowl, you can. And then 3 tablespoons of sugar. And then a teaspoon of salt. I'm just gonna eyeball it. And about a half teaspoon of pepper. And I always like to use fresh ground stuff because I think it just adds a little bit extra flavor. You can certainly use any type of salt for this recipe. And I just like to use a fork to stir it together. Get the sugar and oil and vinegar mixed together. You have to go kind of fast. And then you want to pour it over your salad. And you can make this ahead of time and let it sit in the refrigerator overnight. It'll kind of help the flavors soak together a little bit. I like to, sometimes I do that, sometimes I just eat it right away. It doesn't matter too much, but if, you know, if the pandemic ends and you're going to a party the next day and you want to make it ahead of time to save time, it's certainly really good if you let it sit overnight in the fridge. And then you can add your top ramen. So I like to just crunch it up in the packet a little bit. And you don't want to pulverize it. You want kind of like some big and some small pieces, but I don't want to just turn it into dust because then it won't give me that nice crunch. So I just like to break it up a little bit. And you can do it over the cutting board or the bowl. And then I'm not going to use this. I'm just going to use the noodles uncooked. And then depending how big my salad is or how much I like the top ramen, I can either add 2 or 3 packets. You can add 2 packets and see how it is and decide if you want to do the third one. And just when you're mixing it up, you can try to break up your cabbage a little bit more if you need to. And get it mixed together really well. And I think I will add the third one. Okay, so my almonds are done toasting. I did cook them for closer to 10 minutes. So they're just a little bit golden brown and you can start to smell when they get a little bit aromatic, then they should be finished. So I'm just gonna add those to my salad and mix it together really well. And that is my Mandarin orange salad. Thanks for watching my video, and thank you, Brendan Monroe, for the recipe in 6th grade.